Hello everyone and welcome back to the Raise Your Wealth channel. In today's video I want to give an update on the Raiz Emerald account for the month of October, as well as talking about the markets in general and what's happening with my personal life here in Victoria. But before we get into all that, I want to bring up two new features that have recently been introduced to the app. First of all is the green line that will appear on the graph. I'm in the PC version of the app right now, so you can't see it, but in the mobile app there is a green line overlaid on the performance graph, and that will indicate your level of contributions into the account versus how much is actually in there, which is a nice little visual reference to see sort of how much you've gained. And the second feature that is upcoming is the portfolio customization, which I've mentioned multiple times, and this was actually referenced in a quarterly release yesterday from Raiz, and they mention it here on page 4 of their quarterly report. The development work has begun on a portfolio option that will allow users to have an even better customer experience by selecting their own asset weights inside the portfolio, customized portfolio offering. So there you have it, straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak, and goes to show that this is something that's actively being worked on. But with all that said, let's get straight into the performance of the account. And as you can see here, the account stands right around $42,000, and for the 1 month it is up $868, that's 2.17%. For the 3 months it is up $1,136, that's a 3.08% gain. For the 6 months it is up $2,845, which is an 8.8% gain, and for the 1 year we're up $1,131, which is a 4.3% gain. And for all time we're currently up $989, which is a 3.2% gain. Now keep in mind, a few weeks ago these percentage gains were a little bit higher, but coming into the end of October, as anticipated in my previous Raiz video, we're encountering a little bit of turbulence, and that's primarily because the election is upon us, the US presidential election. And if there's one thing that markets do not like, it is uncertainty. And in my personal opinion, it's not going to so much be a matter of who wins the election. I think the markets will be pricing that in reasonably well, because they'll be seeing sort of who's leading in the polls and all that sort of thing. It's going to come down to more how smooth of a transition it is. If Trump wins and continues on, there won't really be much turbulence. If Biden wins and it's a smooth transition of power, it'll probably be a bit of a, more subdued than we think. I think the issue will be is if the elections are disputed and it kind of goes back and forth, sort of like the whole Bush, Al Gore sort of thing back in the day. And that's where the volatility will come into it. And let's just have a look at how each of the ETFs has fared. So for the 1 month, RARI, which is the Australian orientated ETF, is up 2.38%. And if we go to FD, where are we? FE's up 0.59%, and it's actually quite strange to see the Australian portion of the portfolio outperform. And I for one welcome that, because RARI, and by extension the ASX, has a whole lot of ground to cover. And realistically speaking, I'm not sure how it's going to fare into the future, being so bank heavy, but I for one sort of welcome any increase at this point. And if we have a look at what I've been putting in, it's been pretty much the same as previous months. $100 a day, $100 a day, blah blah blah. I did have some minor dividends. I had the money market AAA dividend, $1.20, woohoo. Had the dividend payout from the IAF, which is the government bonds, of $30.77. Both sort of minor dividends. The two major dividends in this portfolio, FD and Rari, they pay out bi-yearly, so we won't be expecting a payment from them until, I think, January, so stay tuned for that, I guess. And with regards to the portfolio in the future, I intend to go one of two ways about this. If the market sort of continues its upward cadence, I may actually back it off substantially for a while, and that's no fault of Raiz. I just wouldn't mind accruing a little bit of free capital in terms of cash, so if a larger dip does come along in the future, I can really crank down on the depositing. I'm not talking about a 2% day, I'm talking about another, March dip sort of level of magnitude. And that's the one thing that I kind of regret back during March, is that I didn't have more free cash to contribute. But if the market does dip and dip substantially due to the election, I'll continue $100 a day, maybe even more, but it really does depend on how the next few weeks does shake out, and I'm sort of pretty easy either way. But with regards to my life in general, things have been good here in Victoria. Well, getting better anyhow. After much delay and much frustration, the state's starting to open up now, and people are slowly returning to work. As of right now, a few hours ago, retail reopened in the state. I've actually been a lot busier with work even in the last week or so, and I anticipate going back to my pre-lockdown cadence next week, which I am very happy for, and I'm very happy for the people that work under me, and I just want everybody to be safe and have enough money to get by. I don't want to see people struggling and destitute, and especially with the rolling back of JobKeeper and JobSeeker. I know there's a lot of people doing it hard out there, and I really want everything to just go back to normal. With that said though, I am remaining cautious because I don't think this is the last we've seen of the lockdowns, and I think as long as it's increasing on a global level in terms of case numbers, there's always going to be the threat there of reverting back, and I'm just trying to make the most of it while it lasts, and hopefully we stay like this for a long time. But I digress. Anyway, with that said, I think I'll just leave it there. If you guys want to sort of see this content on a regular basis, don't forget to like and subscribe. I don't just cover Raiz, I cover Spaceship Voyager app. You can see the video in my channel. Also cover the Superhero app. You can see that as well, and I will leave you guys there, and I'll just say my name is Rich, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.